And he was just really affectionate, and I just fell in love.
You got Michael and Camilla, and then there's Raphael. In 2018 we had Ariel. Our love is real, it feels surreal. Subscribe to our channel and enjoy the thrill. A typical date in the Noble's household. We come from London where it's always cold. Daddy has to change the baby's bum bum, whilst mommy has to soothe Raphael's tum tum. Things are crazy as you can tell. At the end of everything it ends all well. The Nobles. The Nobles.
Hi Noble familia, welcome back to our channel. I hope everyone is doing great. Today I wanted to have a discussion. Basically this video has been inspired by the questions that I get. How did you know Michael was the one? What did he do? Was it something that he said? So I wanted to have that conversation with you. I guess we can call this video how to find the right one. If you want to join this open discussion, this open debate, keep on watching. Okay, so for me, I always knew that I wanted to have a husband. In most cases, women want to find their future husband, their future wife. I knew that I always wanted to have a husband. I knew that I wanted to have a family of my own. But I didn't know when it was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to happen. So I had a few relationships. I always knew that they weren't the perfect person for me, if you believe in perfect. And yes, so I guess that brings us to the question of how do you know they're the right one? And let me just talk about my experience with my husband. So I don't know if you guys watched our video of how we met, but basically we didn't know each other that long. We used to see each other around, but we never spoke. When I met him, I was quite interested in his character. I was interested in who he was as a person. And literally a month after meeting him, I was diagnosed with cavernoma, which is like a brain tumor. It's like a blood vessel in your brain that leaks blood. I had a lot of symptoms from having cavernoma, and it was quite a hard time for me. So I was in hospital for around 2 months, and I had to have brain surgery. And throughout that process, Michael was there every single day, and I was like, wow, I've only met you and you're here by my side through the toughest time. And for me, it just showed dedication. It showed who he was as a person, and that's all I needed to see. Even my family fell in love with him when he done that, and no one asked him to. I didn't need anything more. I didn't need him to tell me anything, because you know that saying, actions speak louder than words, and his actions did. And I knew he was the one. I just felt it. I felt it. I saw it as well, if I can say that, because like I said, he was there every single day, and he was just really like affectionate, and I just fell in love. There is no time limit for you to fall in love with someone. Some people believe in love at first sight. Some people believe that you need to be with them for at least 3 to 6 months to know that they're the one. But for me, it literally took less than a month to know that Michael was the one for me. And because he showed his dedication from early on, I just knew that he was the one for me. It's so weird. I'm trying to explain how I knew, but it felt right in my heart. It felt right in my mind. I had no doubts. I don't know if you guys can relate, but when you're with someone and you have like doubts, and you're like, oh, are they the one for me? Like, I don't like this, or I don't like the way that they take long to reply, and like just little things. And I think that's the best way that I can explain it. Just in my heart and in my mind, it felt right. And in my past relationships, it's either we argued too much, or they didn't make me feel happy, or I didn't make them feel happy. I always had doubts. I was always hesitant. In the back of my mind, there was always hesitation. And I feel like if they're the one for you, you should not feel any hesitation, in my opinion. If I can say to you that, how do you know they're the right one for you? You would know deep down in your heart there should be no hesitation You should feel complete. You should feel at ease as well. This person should make you feel like you are the world to them. And you should make them feel like that as well. It's not just how they make you feel, it's how you make them feel too. We just made each other feel so happy. And he still makes me happy. Like, it's been 3 years and I still get excited to see him. He does get on my nerves, don't get me wrong, and I get on his nerves, I know I do. But it's just the fact that we can come back to each other and just, we've got each other. And I went to do my eyelashes today, if you can see. I saw this old couple today, and I text Michael as well, and I told him, and they're like, I don't know, they were like in their 80s. Like, she was holding his arm, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. And I texted him and I said, babe, I can't wait to grow old with you. To have that companionship and to have that person that I can trust and I can always talk to is just such a beautiful feeling. If I can give advice or tips, I think for me personally, what I've learned throughout my past relationships and throughout the years is pick your battles. Don't argue about everything. Obviously, as you grow, you become more mature. When I was in those relationships, I was really immature. I would say don't argue about the silliest things. If it's not worth arguing over, just talk about it and move on. And if you're feeling a certain way, talk to them. Say, listen, this is how I'm feeling. How are you feeling? Ask them how they're feeling. It's not all about you. It's about you and them. Don't be self-centered in your relationship. It's a 50-50 thing. I think me and Michael do that quite well, where it's not just about me and it's not just about him. Just have a conversation. Like, they are your friend. I know they're your partner, but they are your friend as well. As time has gone on, I've become more aware of who I am, and I know that I am enough for me. And what I mean by that is, in my past relationships, I always felt like I needed to please them. Not sexually. I think because I didn't know who I was as a person, it was always about them. And remember what I just said, it's not always just about them, it's about you as well. And I always made it about them, and I forgot who I was. So I was losing myself trying to please them all the time. I think you need to know that you're enough, and you need to know that whatever you are bringing, he or she is bringing 50% of it as well. So you bring 50, they bring 50. So you're both bringing something into the relationship. And I think as well, don't go into a relationship thinking that you will change the person. I can't remember the amount of times that I felt like I could change this person. My first ever relationship, I thought I could change them. No. Someone will only change if they want to change. If that person is not ready to change, let them grow. If you're meant to be, you guys will meet each other again in the future. If they're not, you're just gonna waste your time. And time is precious. Don't waste your time on thinking you will change them, because you won't. If they're not ready to change, move on and just focus on you. Love yourself more than you love them, because they will love you back. If you love yourself and you know that you are enough, they will love you no matter what. I think it's really important as well, learning how to say sorry. Learning to say sorry, it can be quite hard. I think that comes with maturity, is understanding when you are in the wrong and just putting your hands up and saying, listen, I'm in the wrong, I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with that. I know your pride might get in the way, or whatever it is that might get in the way. Just learn how to say sorry, because if you've done something and you know you're in the wrong, throughout the years I've learned to not be as stubborn as I was. I think it's about self-awareness. Just get to a point in your life where you step back and you analyze what you did and you be the bigger person. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It doesn't mean you're weaker. Saying sorry doesn't make you look weak. It comes from a strong place, actually, in my opinion. To round it off, I think follow your heart. I know some people are like, I get confused with my mind and my heart. There is something called intuition, and I believe that. I think your intuitions are always right. So don't get influenced by other people's opinions. Listen to yourself more. You know what you want. Just trust that when it's the right time, it will come. You will feel it deep down when it's the right person for you. I'm not saying that me and Michael don't have hard times, because we do. Most of the time, it should feel amazing. rather than 70% of the time it's rubbish and then the other 30 is good. It should be the opposite. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.